Hello and welcome to this update to Strand Designer version 1.53. In this version I've been working on the optimization feature such as fast mode, medium mode, slow mode and dynamic mode that gradually progresses towards a bit of a closer representation of what the rendered map might look like. So as you see, if I click on color map here and I do generate, there we go, we get the color map of the preview there. So that's one new feature. A few new features are if you click once on the set to work on overrides and click on it again, it will basically just give you that one set, and now you can play with the various overrides just for that one, waviness and length and things. So there's a new slider here called root jitter, which is going to change the tip or the root area at the top. Let's just change the color of that to something a bit brighter so you can see. So that just changes the initial position and it gives it a little bit more of a natural look. Okay, so you can right click to bring everything back and play around with various positions. Now if you find that this mode is just a little bit sticky because you do have to hold the button down a little bit longer than normal, just switch it back to fast or medium mode depending on your machine and you'll get a little bit of that back. As you can see, the frame rate drops the more strands and more detail it has to show. So fast mode is generally good for positioning things, and then you can switch it on to one of the higher modes or dynamic mode. Okay, so a new feature that I added was this single strand and multi-strand mode. Now you don't see this in the previewer, but it's basically rendering more strands per strand, and that's just because it's using a slightly different alpha. Now if I just right click off here, I can reduce everything down so that I can show you this real quick. So we've got a color map and we generate that. So single strand mode looks like this, and if you click on multi-strand and regenerate, it basically picks a few different alphas that have got 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dots or more in there. So as soon as I click on the color map, you can see we get this more kind of stylized look where it's just a few extra strands, and that can be good for busying up areas. So if I put all the strands to 0 and I'll just work on the one with the overrides here, put that up to like 100, a little bit of spacing, and I'll render that with multi-strand mode on. And check that out, so we get a bit more strands happening there. It's a bit of a new feature, a little bit experimental. It doesn't save the state of this just yet because I'm still working on it. It also changes the way the normal map is represented. So if I generate a normal map here, it looks slightly different from the single strand method because this is actually a shader applied to the depth pass of these strands. So you can blur it up a little bit to get it looking nicer, but I do prefer the way the single strand normal map looks, because it's more generic. It's actually a little bit of a cheat where it's rendering with a single sprite that looks like a normal map. So that's a little bit nice. You can apply a little bit of blur to that as well. It gives it a bit more dimension, that one. So purely optional, and it's there. So the new features are pretty much in place, and it auto saves everything as well. Everything's auto saved, and there's a couple of presets that I've made too. So I'm just going to load this preset here. Takes a little bit longer to load now because there's a few extra algorithms being loaded in, a few extra variables, and I'll load that again. So sometimes it does get a little bit sticky and you have to hold down the button a bit longer, but it's quite nice seeing the progressive look there. But if you want to switch that off, just click on one of these and you'll get a little bit of a performance boost back. But either way, Dynamode lets you change stuff. As soon as you press the button, the mouse button, it basically puts it to the lowest setting, and when you let go, it gradually just builds up again. So you can hold the button down if you want the frame rate to go back up. So that's it for this version. I hope you enjoy these new features, and I'll see you in the next update. Thanks for watching. Bye.